For broadcast on November 18th, track 1. How bad were the Monkees really? 9 years ago, when they first appeared on television and began taking over top 40 music, most people in the music industry said they were terrible. But nowadays, a few sophisticated rock critics have changed their minds about the Monkees. We'll be talking to Micky Dolenz and Davy Jones after this for Clairol's Clouds of Herbaliscence, called Body Bath, Body Powder, and Body Splash.
Here we come.
In the fall of 1966, 4 personable performers were brought together to portray a striving rock and roll group in a new television series.
Hey, we're the Monkees!
The Monkees were overnight successes, rivaling even the Beatles in popularity at the time. That instant success antagonized other rock performers and music industry executives. They claimed that the Monkees were manufactured and exploited for crass commercial reasons by TV. These days, Micky Dolenz looks back at that sort of attack and says,
it wasn't put together any differently than David Geffen put together Crosby, Stills, and Nash. He went out and he found Crosby from one group, Nash from another group, Stills, and he took elements from different areas and just put them together for a super group. And that's what people don't understand, is that we didn't appear over Guam in a cloud, just drift down to earth. Davy just gotten off Broadway. I'd had a TV series when I was a child. Mike was with Randy Sparks and the New Christy Minstrels. Peter had been playing with the Mamas and Papas in New York. That wasn't publicized a lot because they wanted it to look like a brand new group happening.
In 2 years, the Monkees sold 30 million records. They starred in the first truly underground feature motion picture, Head. They were the hardest working rock performers ever, recording 2 songs a week for the television show, making personal appearances, recording albums and singles. Micky and Davy Jones say they're amazed that their stamina held out for 2 years.
On top of all that, as being a regular rock and roller, we had to also appear on the set 12 hours a day filming a television show.
About a rock and roll group was trying to make it. Yeah, we step outside the front gates and we'd made it, you see.
So it was very demanding. That's why it only lasted a short time, because it nearly killed everybody in the project.
No American rock group ever rose so fast or disappeared so quickly after its initial sensation.
It's like an Apollo rocket, That sucker is strong. Only lasts for about 8 minutes, but while it's going, it's... And then it just goes... And it took me about 2 years just to walk out of my house and not shake,
The Monkees are shaking again, however. At least Micky, Davy, and 2 of their songwriters, Tommy Boyce and Bobby Hart, are. They'll be talking about the latest reincarnation of the Monkees, and this interview continues later.
Hey, we're the Monkees! People say we monkey around.
This is Lou Irwin, Earth News Radio, for Clairol's Clouds of Herbaliscence for your bath. For broadcast on November 18th, track 2. The Monkees are back. A couple of the faces are different, and they have a new name, but there's no mistaking the old sound. We'll be hearing it after this for Clairol's Clouds of Herbaliscence, bubbling Body Bath, Body Powder, and Body Splash. If you were hip and into rock and roll in the late 60s, you hated the Monkees. It was said that they were a kiddies act and that their music was pap. In fact, most of their music was written by the likes of Harry Nilsson, Neil Diamond, John Stewart, Carole King, and mostly Tommy Boyce and Bobby Hart. Boyce and Hart these days have joined 2 former Monkees, Micky Dolenz and Davy Jones, to form a new group. And in interviews, they are often forced to defend the old group. Listen to Boyce, Jones, and Dolenz talk about their old critics.
If they'd have given themselves the courtesy to read the back of the covers and this and that, they'd have found out that the records Bobby and I produced with the guys, we had all their favorite musicians on the records. We had Louis Shelton on guitar, who now produces Seals and Croft. We had Leon Russell on piano. We had Larry Taylor on bass, who ended up with John Mayall.
The music was...
Organized situation. When you got all that energy is eternal delight. I have to keep saying it, because that's what happened with the Monkees. Everybody put full 100% energy, full amount of time that they were involved.
And there was a tremendous need for it. There was a tremendous need.
But in the end, even 2 Monkees became disenchanted with the music. Peter Tork was the first to leave the group, followed by Michael Nesmith. Says Micky Dolenz.
They found it very difficult to try to rationalize not recording all their own songs, which they were always used to do. As I said, it didn't bother me too much because I was an actor, and they said, sing this song. I said, wonderful, I'll sing that song. About 2 years into it, it got so heavy with Mike and Peter objecting to the music and objecting to the not having any creative control. Davy and I both eventually got involved just because of our association and our loyalty to them, and we both got involved, and that's eventually what broke up the group.
They sound like the old Monkees, but because of legal entanglements, they are only able to call themselves Dolenz, Jones, Boyce, and Hart. But their audiences recognize that sound, and they respond to it, says Dolenz.
And it's like it was 10 years ago. The kids are screaming, storming the stage. It's like they've all been frozen cryogenically.
We're the only ones that got old.
And reruns of the old Monkee shows are big hits on television again. Kiddies are buying their old records the way they also buy Mouseketeers albums. And who knows, maybe Dolenz, Jones, Boyce, and Hart will even receive the kind of respectability and hipness that eluded the Monkees. This is Lou Irwin, Earth News Radio, for Clairol's Clouds of Herbal Essence for your bath. Broadcast on August 2nd, track 1. Micky Dolenz was once a Monkee, but after his career with that 60s group ended, he found himself out of work. Few doors opened for him in Hollywood, but in London, where I interviewed him recently, things were different. We'll be talking to the former Monkee after this for Budweiser.